the White House plan to arrange a meeting where highly classified and other information will be shared with members of Congress is highly irregular, inappropriate, and unprecedented. The President and his staff should not be involved in reviewing or dissemination of sensitive investigatory information involving any open investigation, let alone one about the activities of his own campaign. It's amazing. It is what you hear happening in third world countries. The leader says, nope, I'm above the law, and interferes with the process of law. Congress has a right to oversight and to know what's going on after an investigation is complete. While an investigation is open and active, demands for oversight are tantamount to interference, especially when the folks demanding the information are the most biased, irresponsible actors. A man like Devin Nunes, who I hear privately from my Republican colleagues, they think he's off the deep end. And he's going to get hold of this? And we think that's for fair, unbiased oversight? Give me a break. If such a meeting occurs, and I don't believe it should, but if it occurs, it must be bipartisan to serve as a check on the disturbing tendency of the President's allies to distort facts and undermine the investigation and people conducting it. Democratic members of the House and Senate, the analogs of the Republicans selected to be in the room, should be in the room as well. So if Devin Nunes is there, Adam Schiff should be there. To me, this is just amazing. Amazing that it is happening. Now, one further point on this, and again, the contradictory statements and opinions, the virtual hypocrisy of President Trump on these issues is just mind-boggling. President Trump, for instance, has been peddling the myth that a deep state bias against his presidency has animated the Russia probe. Of course, the idea is ridiculous. If there was such a deep state aligned against President Trump, why then was the active investigation into his campaign communications with Russian intelligence kept secret during the campaign? The deep state could have killed him in the election. If there was such a conspiracy against Donald Trump, why was the FBI investigation of his campaign under wraps, while at the same time, the FBI investigation into his opponent was in full view of the public eye? Whether you agree or not, Secretary of State and presidential nominee Clinton believes that those comments by the FBI about that investigation hurt her chances to win the presidency. You may agree or you may not disagree, but one fact is incontrovertible. The FBI talked publicly about the Clinton investigation and was silent about the Trump investigation. And yet the president says the deep state is out to kill him. It's not fair. It's not right. It's contradictory. The truth is that the president and his allies only concoct these conspiracies, totally contradicted by well-known facts, to kick up dust, to obscure and obfuscate, to distort and distract. And when that's not enough, the president and his team directly interfere with the Russian investigation by asking its leaders to turn over documents to the most irresponsible actors in Congress, his ardent political allies. It ought to stop. It ought to stop. The Justice Department doesn't take demands from the president. The special counsel's investigation must continue in search of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Mr. President, can you tell us more about your meeting with Rod Rosenstein and Director Wray yesterday?
No, it was just a very routine meeting. As you know, the Congress would like to see documents opened up. A lot of people are saying they had spies in my campaign. If they had spies in my campaign, that would be a disgrace to this country. That would be one of the biggest insults that anyone's ever seen, and it would be very illegal, aside from everything else. It would make probably every political event ever look like small potatoes. So we want to make sure that there weren't. I hope there weren't, frankly. But some man got paid based on what I read in the newspapers and on what you reported. Some person got paid a lot of money. That's not a normal situation, the kind of money you're talking about. So hopefully that would be, and I think the Department of Justice wants to get down to it, and I can tell you Congress does. So hopefully they'll all be able to get together. General Kelly's going to be setting up a meeting between Congress and the various representatives, and they'll be able to open up documents, take a look, and find out what happened. But if they had spies in my campaign, during my campaign for political purposes, that would be unprecedented in the history of our country.
Do you have confidence in Rod Rosenstein?
What's your next question, please?
I'm a reporter from...
Excuse me, I have the president of South Korea here.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question
He doesn't
for
want to hear
Rod.
these questions, if you don't mind.
President Trump, I'm a reporter from South Korea. If the North Korea and Kim Jong-un decide the CVID, will you really guarantee the safety of the regime of North Korea?
I will guarantee his safety, yes. We will guarantee his safety. And we've talked about that from the beginning. He will be safe. He will be happy. His country will be rich. His country will be hardworking and very prosperous. They're very great people. They're hardworking, great people. Look at what happened with South Korea. Don't forget, we helped South Korea. We have spent trillions of dollars, not billions, trillions of dollars over many, many years. We helped South Korea. And South Korea is one of the most incredible countries in terms of what they do. You know that. That's where you are. That's where you're from. Same people. Same people. So, yeah, I think that he will be extremely happy if something works out. And if it doesn't work out, honestly, he can't be happy. But he has a chance to do something that maybe has never been done before. And I think it would be, if you look 25 years into the future, 50 years into the future, he will be able to look back and be very proud of what he did for North Korea, and actually for the world. But he will be very proud of what he did for North Korea.
President, what are your conditions for a meeting with Kim Jong-un? You said you
Well, I'd rather not say, but we are working on something, and, you know, there's a chance that it'll work out. There's a chance, it's a very substantial chance that it won't work out. I don't want to waste a lot of time, and I'm sure he doesn't want to waste a lot of time. So there's a very substantial chance that it won't work out, and that's okay. That doesn't mean it won't work out over a period of time, but it may not work out for June 12th. But there's a good chance that we'll have the meeting.
Mr. President, maybe I could ask you and President Moon this question. In terms of denuclearization, should it be an all-in-one, or could it be incremental with incentives along the way for Kim Jong-un to denuclearize?
Well, all-in-one would be nice, I can tell you. I'm not going to go beyond that. It would certainly be better if it were all-in-one. Does it have to be? I don't think I want to totally commit myself, but all-in-one would be a lot better. And just to finish that, because it's a very important question, South Korea, China, and Japan, and I've spoken to all three, one I happen to have right here, they will be willing to help, and I believe invest very, very large sums of money into helping to make North Korea great. When Kim Jong-un had the meeting with President Xi in China, the second meeting, the first meeting we knew about, the second meeting, I think there was a little change in attitude from Kim Jong-un. So I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it from the standpoint of China. Now, I hope that's not true, because I have a great relationship with President Xi. He's a friend of mine. He likes me. I like him. That was two of the great days of my life being in China. I don't think anybody's ever been treated better in China ever in their history, and I just think it was, many of you were there. It was an incredible thing to witness and see, and we built a very good relationship. We speak a lot. But there was a difference when Kim Jong-un left China the second time. And I think they were dedicating an aircraft carrier that the United States paid for, okay? Because we paid for a lot that was built in China.
Do you think China maybe discouraged Kim from...
No, but I think that President Xi is a world-class poker player. And I'd probably maybe doing the same thing that he would do. But I will say this, there was a somewhat different attitude after that meeting, and I'm a little surprised. Now, maybe nothing happened. I'm not blaming anybody, But I'm just saying, maybe nothing happened and maybe it did.